All right, review number 2 for tonight. It's the other new thing that showed up. This showed up in a 12-pack, $32, which is a little steep. It's from Good Robot, and Good Robot's a company that I'm kind of hit or miss on. Like, generally, they got a couple beers that are really awesome, and then they got a bunch of like weird foo-foo fucking like pastry beers and bullshit that does not hit with me at all. So this is their Good Robot Lager. Like I said, came in a 12-pack, and they just say this is a beer. See right there, this is a beer, and unfiltered water, barley, malt, corn, dextrose, yeast, and hops. 5.5% alcohol by volume. And let's just go to the Good Robot thing here for a second. Look at this. So we'll Chrome tab. There we go. So there you go. And I think that's what I paid for it, $32.72. Or something close to that. So they say it's like an American lager, so like North American lager. This one's a smasher. A good, honest, cold lager. It's a bit fruity. It's crisp. It's dry. It comes with a 12-pack of cans. You can also get it a 6-pack, I guess. It's back here. Yeah, you can get a 6-pack as well. It's like I said, they got all these other ones here that are just like, some of them I haven't had a lot of them, but some of them are just kind of like weird. Now, that's really good. The Diablo Mexican lager is good. This fucking creature feature, I never liked this. I've had that Uncle Giggles APA, which is just kind of it's all right. Oak Cake Computer, like, I don't know, maybe my palate was just like fucking wrecked or something, but it tasted like nothing to me. 10,000 pound Pilsner is a little underwhelming. Yeah, they're okay. They're an okay brewery. Stop sharing this shit. All right. So I guess this is just supposed to be like a crusher. This is supposed to be like this is the kind of thing you take a 12-pack to your barbecue. You go out in the beach or something like that, have a bonfire, multi-purpose maintenance beer. This is what I'd say. And we got CB Fall in the chat here saying, fantastic designs. Their can designs are very good. I'll give them that for sure. And this design here is very minimalist. It kind of, it's got a little bit of flair to it, a little bit of character to it, but it's also kind of simple and minimalist at the same time. So it kind of echoes more generic. And, a lot of craft breweries these days make their like simple lager now that you can crush all the time, maintenance beer that you can crush all the time. And a lot of them also have very simple, generic kind of labels to them, very utilitarian, Spartan maybe. And kind of throwback to how some, mass-produced union-made beers and shit from like the last century would look. Kind of echoes that, I guess. At least that's my I can't even say words today. That's my theory anyway. All right. So yeah, it's got the pale lager. It looks a little darker on the camera, of course. I was gonna say that for new people in case they might be watching. And CB Fall says he agrees with me. Thank you. Hope you're having a good night. But it is basically pale straw color, even though it looks kind of amberish on the camera. But yeah, pale straw color, little, it's fairly see-through. I see some particulates in there. Like they did say it's unfiltered. You can definitely see it in there, but it looks pretty clear. And yeah, it looks like a big mass-produced macro lager, really. Go the aroma. Most certainly, CP Fall says. Yeah, so malt. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of grain, no off notes. Smells like a beer. Again, they're saying on the can, this is a beer. And when someone says, I want a beer, I want something that tastes like beer, I want something that smells like a beer, that's not necessarily a dismissive offhand comment, nebulous. It can mean kind of this, close to this. And this is, generic beer smell. Billy. Taste. Cheers. All right. And it says it's doing exactly what it says on the can. What did they say here? Or did they say it on the website? They said it on the website. That's right. Crisp, little sweet, and dry in the finish. It's very simple, very, one note thing. The taste is basically just the grainy malt taste with a little teeny bit of grassy sweetness. It's not too far removed from like a German Kolsch, but the Americanized version of that, because you're not necessarily using like sort of noble hops in this. I don't know what they use in this, but it's it's not like a spicy hop profile or anything like that. It's very simple, standard, bog standard North American style generic beer, but it's well done. There's no off notes, no off flavors. It's a little bit more robust than say like your Budweiser or something along those lines. Although, the mouthfeel and stuff is still pretty much exactly spot on the same. It's got better flavor than like a Budweiser or a Corona or, Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's more like up in the league of like a Pabst Blue Ribbon or a Coors Banquet or something along those lines. So it's like, upper tier macro lager is kind of what they're going for here. And they kind of hit it. And we got Paul saying, cheers, brother. Cheers to you, sir. Hope you're doing well tonight. And CB Fall saying, amazing review. Indeedly. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's, it is a crusher. It's a maintenance beer. Lee Hardy says anything is better than Budweiser. Yeah. Not wrong. Not wrong. Not wrong. Paul's saying, love a well-made lager. And I mean, this is well-made. It's a craft version of, what those big macro lagers taste like. And so it just by the fact that it is a craft brewed thing and, they got everything right, it's going to have a little bit more character, a little bit more flavor than your like Pabst Blue Ribbon or your Budweiser or whatever, where it's, strict mass-produced stuff that follows a formula. You almost never get a bad batch. And everyone tastes identical pretty much. And at the same time, they tend to suffer from that because there's a certain level of quality and you don't want to fluctuate it any because that'll affect their profit margins or something. So this is a little bit more than bland is probably the best way to put it. So like style-wise, crushable North American lager, macro lager, whatever you want to call it. I'd say 8.5. I've had slightly better, but this is like up there. And on my own personal preference, 7. I could take it or leave it. Might buy it again. I would not be against buying it again. If it came in 6-packs, I would be much more open to buying it. Like I said, it does come in 6-packs. If those 6-packs were available to me at my NSLC, I'd be much more aimable to making that purchase than I would the $32 for 12 cans, which, yeah. And Paul saying just had Einbecker Erbach. Ah, cool. I don't think I've ever had that. And then he says, if you can get canned Pilsner Urquell, give it a go. I can get canned Pilsner Urquell, and I don't say I purchase it as frequently anymore, but it used to be a frequent purchase. There's just so many really fucking great, like, just craft brewed Pilsners now around here, Paul, that I don't have to buy Pilsner Urquell anymore. In fact, there's a couple that I rate being just as good or slightly better than canned Pilsner Urquell that we get. No doubt if I went to the Pilsner Urquell brewery, over in Czech Republic or whatever, it would be a totally different story. But, the imported stuff, it's going to suffer a little bit. And I can just get fresher craft brewed versions that stick to, the sort of kind of brewing practices and use the same ingredients and all that good stuff. So, yeah. So I said what, 8.5 for style and 7 for personal preference. So there you go. Good Robot made. So this is one of the few Good Robot beers that I really recommend, especially if you're looking for a maintenance beer or something to crush. And the Good Robot Lager. There you go. Recommended. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a good night, good day, or whatever if you're watching after the fact. And we'll see you again when we see you. Bye-bye.